Hi Taurians, hi Taurus. This is going to be for you all Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, and Rising. July predictions. My name is Marlissa. This is at Word from Mars Tarot. Please like the video and subscribe if you like it here, love it here, so you can receive more messages. I'm working on being more consistent. I know the Taurians love that specifically. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. I am using a new deck called the Awakened Soul. All right, the Awakened Soul, and I am going to end up reading from it. Excuse me, because there are a couple cards that like intrigue me here. Let me see. Yeah. So Taurus is for the month of July. I feel like you are on like an adventure. You're on an adventure. Something is changing for you, all right? Taurus is, you do not do the best with change. The signs that I see here are Scorpio and Sagittarius. Scorpio and Sagittarius. And I would say a little bit like heavy Scorpio energy. So if you're connected to someone or if you have one of those signs, please go watch that video. But the overall energy of your spread is transformation. So the Death card, all right? Sign of Scorpio. It's transformation in this deck, but death in traditional tarot. And some of you may have experienced, an actual death that impacts you, a lot. However, I do feel like this month you are going through some sort of transformation and change, maybe taking mask off, like just becoming someone who you're meant to be. You may be seeing 4 and 444. I feel like there's been some things that you've been wanting, and you're either going to receive them this month or you're going to be able to see that like those things are coming towards you. All right, we have foundations and achievements. Some of you may have bought a house. Some of you may have some sort of new home that you're moving in with the family. It's something that you all have always wanted. And if not that, or some of you like maybe starting a family. But there's something that you're going to be really proud of this month, okay? And I feel like you've worked really hard for whatever it is, and you are going to receive what you want, all right? Fulfillment of wishes. This is the energy of being really, really, really happy. For some of you, this may come after the transformation, or it could all come during. Like, God could know that you're making the appropriate changes, and it's like, all right, like you're making these changes, and I know you're going to continue to allow yourself to grow and change. So here is the blessing, all right? I wonder if while you're waiting, because Taurus is, you are not the most patient, you may experience some discontent and boredom. You may experience some discontent and boredom, and it's emotionally too. Like, and just like I told one of the other signs, like, Taurus, I hope that you're not used to creating chaos in your life, or you're like being chaotic. And if you are, peace may end up feeling like boredom to you. Like it may end up feeling like discontent because you're used to chaos, and you maybe usually create it. Maybe that's the change that's going to take place this month. Like, nah, like we're going to be patient and we're going to be peaceful. All right, patience here. In traditional tarot, this is known as temperance, sign of Sagittarius. So, you are going to get what you want as long as you make very, wise choices, all right? However, it's going to take some time. So you see that seed, and then like it's eventually, the seeds at the bottom, they're blossoming into like this flower, but we know that it took time to blossom into that flower. So maybe this month is not about you receiving everything at once, like your fulfillment of wishes, your foundation and achievements. Maybe this is like the change is taking place, and prosperity is going to begin, but you're going to have to be very patient, all right? And you're going to want to make sure that you don't compare your journey to others, because that could be something too. Maybe you're comparing your journeys to others, but prosperity is definitely beginning for you this month, okay? You may have some sort of offer come towards you, or you may make some sort of offer towards someone else. But again, it's going to be slow and moving. So be patient, Taurus, okay? So these next set of cards. Ooh. I do feel like you're going to go on some sort of adventure, you know, this month as well. Like, I feel like while you're going through, you know, the, you know, transformation and things of that nature, I feel like there's going to be some adventure that you're choosing to embark on. Like, it's going to be a start. Like, this is going to be a start of a new journey. You know, you may be traveling somewhere new. You may be moving. Something that's going to require some direction, okay? So if you're connected to God, Source, Spirit, Universe, make sure you're praying for direction when you're, you know, going on whatever this adventure is. Go ahead and cleanse yourself, okay? Like, the full moon, today is what, the 12th, going on the 13th. So the full moon was, I think, on the 10th, all right? Because the full moon is in the background here, and we have cleanse. It looks like she has some, like, sage, you know, in her hand. She's wearing a crystal, and she has some crystals on her nightstand, and she has her window open, so I feel like she's recharging and cleansing her crystals. So if you are into spirituality and you have crystals and all that, go ahead and make sure you cleanse them. You can cleanse them underneath the moonlight. It doesn't only have to be like for full moons, and we just like that just passed, even though you can feel the full moon energy, like I think up to like what, 2 weeks afterwards. So if you still want to cleanse your crystals, you can put them in the moonlight. Make sure, depending on what your crystals are, that it's not somewhere where they can get wet, so you know they rust or whatever the case may be. And more importantly than cleansing your crystals, cleanse yourself. So maybe some of you need to take a spiritual bath, clean your room, clean up your aura. That could be the transformation that's happening. It's like the cleanse that's taking place. Cleanse your actual body, like do a juice fast or something, okay? Now, this is the card that I want to read because I see change being heavy here. Whose reading did I just do? I just did the Gemini reading, so if you are a Taurus and you have a Gemini placement, go ahead and watch that video too. But we have change here, and she has this snake around her neck, all right? And snakes, they shed their skin, and if you look, the skin is shedding, for sure, okay? So let me pull my book out. All right, change. The symbol is snake. Keywords: shift, movement, realignment, disruption, transformation, metamorphosis. The soul story here. Our awakened soul is not afraid of the snake that she is holding. Again, like I tell people, if you are a masculine watching this, change this to he, all right? They, them, whatever works for you, okay? However you identify. She is looking straight into his eyes. She is confident and sure in the face of change. Snakes have long been a living symbol of change. Can you stand your ground and look at this change straight on? As the snake sheds its skin, it reminds us that this is needed to grow. Snakes shed their skins when they become too tight, small, and restrictive. Staying still for too long can cause you to get stuck. When you allow things to take their natural course, you will find the changes still happen, but the journey will be easier because you understand the nature of change. Nothing ever stays the same. And I know that that's very hard for you to accept, Taurus, because, you know, if it was all up to y'all, I feel like things would not, you know, change, you know, much at all, okay? The awakened meaning of this card: change is inevitable and will come whether or not you want to accept it. Change can be scary, hard, and sometimes downright heartbreaking. When you are able to accept that change is the only constant in the universe, you can deal with it with more ease. The only thing you have true control over is how you act and react, and your actions that define who you are. One of my favorite sayings about change is, shit happens, so shift happens. Shit happens, so shift happens. This card is asking that you look at the events that are happening to you and around you in a new light. The more you resist change, the harder it is to move forward, and often the further behind you become. Other people grow and reach new goals while you are stuck in the past, unwilling to change to move forward. Ooh, excuse me, Taurians. Take some time to contemplate this card. Is the change you are experiencing an inner change or an external change? Is it a small change or something more drastic? Not all change needs to be life-changing. Even the small shifts can illuminate so much. Shadow meaning: inability to move, being stuck, defying what is, denial. So some of you could be struggling, you know, with that. The affirmation for this card is, I allow change to happen in my life with grace. Personal reflections: how can I shift my perspective about change? All right. How can I shift my perspective about change. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna write some down real quick. All right. So let's keep it pushing, Tauruses. So, blessing in disguise. So this change, whether you like it or not, is a blessing in disguise. Okay? It will work out. It will work out. I feel like some of you need to hear that. Letters in name A, S, H, L, or N. A, S, H, L, or N. So Tauruses, you can have that first, middle, or last initial, or be connected to somebody who has these initials. H, yes, H. A, S, H, L, or N. Okay? And then we have light or colored hair. Another thing, I want you to be mindful. Sorry, Layla. Another thing, I want you to be mindful of. My dog hates my cards. Is of your shadow work this month, okay? So may this deck awaken you to your greater authenticity by working through any hidden shadows of your personality. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. So, Taurus, what you want to work on this month, the shadow work that may come up for you is jealousy. Your past wounds need healing. Work on your self-love. You are far greater than you know. So, again, you comparing. Remember I said earlier that I feel like you're going to be comparing yourself because maybe some of you are not going to quite be here, or maybe some of you are not going to quite be here. But when you see it happen for other people, you may end up being jealous, not realizing like you're just having to be patient. Prosperity is still beginning for you. Change is still taking place, so there's no need for you to be jealous. So make sure you're working through that. All right. And lastly, Taurus, the affirmation for you here is I release my need to be perfect and I center into my commitment to serve the world more love. So instead of focusing on being perfect and even focusing maybe on what perfection looks like to other people or what they have, commit to, doing more service, serving the world with love. So maybe some of you haven't done some community service in a long time, and it's time to, do that, to bring back that humble reminder. All right. That is what I have for you, Taurians. I will see you next time. Bye.